Alright, it's time to check on my splits. So, in the last video, I went through the process of splitting my hives using a Snelgrove or double screen board, and now I need to check on them. And the process went a little messy last time, because I wasn't really planning to split them, and so I scrambled to split them, and so now I need to check on them. And there was one major clue that happened during those splits that I only thought about it afterwards, and I'll talk about it here. So one of the queens that I tried to give one of the new splits was a swarm cell, and a swarm cell is a queen that bees make when they intend to split their hive into two. You can think of a hive as like a macroorganism, and so honeybee hives need to make new hives, otherwise honeybees wouldn't be around, so they swarm. That's when they split themselves into two. And so they make those queen cells at the bottom of frames, which is their sign that they're going to do this. And I gave the swarm cell to one of the new hives. And in the back of my mind I was thinking this may not work, because even though you give the swarm cell to a hive, that doesn't change their intentions. So all I likely did was weaken the next swarm, but not stop the swarm from happening. And what I should have done is put a swarm trap out, relocated the existing queen to that, so the old hive that was going to swarm was queenless, so they wouldn't swarm, and then swap them back later. But in the moment I didn't have another hive to put her in, and I certainly wasn't thinking about it. So now it's time for me to go see what the results were from the splits. So first off, the bottom board popped out, so we'll fix that. Now I'm going to show you what it's like for me to wrangle the lid off. The bees glue it down with wax and propolis, and so I kind of have to put pressure on it and then slowly kind of break the seal. It's surprisingly difficult work, and you have to do it gently, otherwise the bees will just kind of start off fussy at you. So this top hive was given emergency cells, emergency queen cells, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. So the main job here is I want to see if there's a queen in here. So that top box is only honey. So now I'm looking to see if there's evidence of a queen that is there, or eggs to tell me that she's mated. The bad news is there's no sign of anything, which means the queen was either out on a mating flight or she died already on a mating flight. And this is unfortunately a very distant possibility. That's the frame I gave that had the queen cells, and they're all gone now. Now when a queen hatches, that's new wax. You can see the color difference from that and the brown stuff. The main difference, the thing about, even though I gave her like this hive 3 or 4 queen cells, the first one that hatches goes and kills all the others. So even when they start off with like hedging their bets with lots, only one is ever going to survive it, and then if they fly out and die, they start over. So if you're a beekeeper and you just let them do this stuff naturally, you can lose your entire season of this. I'm going to show you a bee hatching. So real quick, there's that little bee off to the right, just popped out and walking. It's a little smaller and paler than the others, just popped out of the brood. And then there are you can see little holes popped in the top of some of them. These are other bees that are starting to hatch right now. And so if I just sat there, we could have watched them slowly climb out of those, but that's what that looks like. And so that hive had no queens, not in the original and not in the split, which is a problem. That hive will not live if I don't get it a queen, or I could let it spin forever and try to make a new one. But I did go ahead and order them. So now I'm checking on the other 2 splits. So this one does have a queen, and I'm going to try to show her to you, but it's really hard to see because she hasn't mated yet, which makes her, actually she's a bit smaller, but she's on there walking around. And there are these other big bees on there, and those are drones who go out and mate with queens. It makes it harder to spot her because those other big bees kind of like trick you a bit. So here she is. She's just slightly bigger than the others with different markings. She's not mated yet, so she's not laying any eggs. This hive's weak. She may fly out and mate successfully, and that will be good. This is me trying to catch her, but I lose her because that's how it goes. So this puts me in a dilemma. I have 2 hives without a queen, 1 hive with an unlaying queen, which might be fine. And so I could either wait a long time to see if they can recover, or buy queens and have them overnighted in the mail to come and install them. And I'm going to choose to do the latter because I don't want to wait another month to find out. So now we're going to see the bottom hive, which, I didn't do anything with this one, so it should be fine. So here I am basically deciding to give this frame of eggs and brood to the split so their population doesn't diminish much more, which means I gotta shake the bees. Now bees are funny, like they tend to be okay with each other as long as they're working, but because of how their pheromones from the queen work, they'll identify themselves as you don't belong here, and sometimes they'll fight about it and sometimes they won't. So we're gonna shake the old bees off before I put them in this new hive. There's going to be some in there, and they might fight a little bit, but they'll probably just be fine. So this is, we would call this equalizing, when you give resources from one hive to another just to keep them balanced and stable. So that bottom hive is the only one with the queen. I have to order others, and then in the next video I'll probably see me installing them into each hive. So yeah, not the best splits, but I'll get there.